Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Boat Dealer Profits podcast. I am your host, Matt Selhorst, the creator of the Splash System, where we're committed to helping you sell more boats, make more money, and have more fun. I've got a special, just jam-packed, profit-filled podcast for you today. No guest. I'm going to share the 5 ways to sell more boats this spring. So what I wanted to do is just give you some very, very actionable content. I want this to be a podcast that you share with everybody in your dealership, your sales staff, your managers. If you're the salesperson, share it with the owner. If you're the owner, share it with your sales team. If you're a manufacturer, share this with all of your dealer network. I want this to be shared because if you follow what I give you in this podcast, you will sell more boats this spring. And I want to give you a quick word of warning. Everything that I share with you is going to sound so simple, and you're going to say, we do that, or that's too simple. There's no way that's going to work. What I find is, if you're just joining us, if you've never been to the Boat Dealer Profits podcast, you've never seen my boating industry articles, you've never read my books or watched my Boat Dealer Profits TV episodes, and you may not know where I'm coming from, so I'll take a step back. Boat Dealer Profits is a company I started after being a top producer in the boating industry. I started out as a no boat selling son of a gun, figured out a lot of strategies, techniques, and systems that propelled me to become a top producer in a 6-location dealership. And so what I'm going to share with you are things that in our business, we now do coaching for dealership owners and consulting, sales training, marketing consulting, strategy, and we also actually do the marketing for you. So run your Facebook campaigns, take your marketing dollars and invest them in profitable marketing. So Google AdWords, SEM, SEO if it's appropriate, doing pre-roll videos, doing retargeting and remarketing, doing geo fencing, and some really cool blueprinting technology that is highly advanced with some partners that we're fortunate to have, and we can do everything for you. So one of the things that is an advantage that we offer when I start working with clients is one, it's area exclusive. So you get me and my team area exclusive, which means nobody else is going to get the high level strategy that we deliver. Nobody else is going to get the entire system. Nobody else is going to get the behind the curtain look and coaching and consulting with me and with my expert team. So that's how we do things a little bit different. But I wanted to share this because I think these are so simple and so actionable that it's going to make a ginormous, if I could use one of my daughter words, it's going to make an enormous impact on your results this spring and going forward. But I don't want you, I told you all that not to impress you about all the stuff that we do, or not as a sales pitch necessarily, but of course we're certainly glad to talk to you if your area is open. Matter of fact, I'm speaking from a hotel room right now. If you can see from the background, if you're watching this video, I'm actually on the road visiting a client, getting them up and going on the Done For You system with some geo-targeting and Facebook and Google Display and a bunch of digital stuff. So I don't want you to discount how simple this is and say that's not going to work, and you don't even take action. What I want to happen with this episode is I want, as the dealership owner, or you as a salesperson, or you as a manufacturer listening in, I want you to share it with your teams. I want you to share it with everybody on the front lines, and I want you to actually do this stuff. And I want you to say, holy crap, we just sold an extra boat because of Matt's podcast. And dig in more. You can see at the top of the page, boatdealerprofitsbook.com. You can go there, get a free copy if you don't have it already. So let's go ahead and jump in. Enough preamble, enough of me chatting about me, let's get to number one, a simple email to old leads. So there is a research study that was done on millions and millions and millions of leads across hundreds and hundreds of industries, at events similar to boat shows, from leads similar to what you might get from a boat trader or only inboards, or from your manufacturer, or from anywhere online at kind of a listing site, or where somebody may order a brochure. Here's what they found in that study. What they found was, out of a group of 200 leads, and I'm just going to break it down to easy numbers instead of talking percentage, but out of 200 leads that came in from various sources all over the place, and we're talking a sample size of millions and millions of leads, hundreds of industries. Of those 200, about 50% ended up buying the product, and about 50% never bought the product. Okay, so they called, the way they did the survey was every 30 days or every 90 days, every 3 months, they reached out and they said, yeah, you inquired about a pool for your home. Did you ever buy a pool? Okay, not you inquired about this type of pool, a Sylvan pool or whatever pool. Did you buy that? It's, did you buy the generic product? So in the boating industry, and the boating industry wasn't included, I don't believe. But did you buy a boat? Yes or no? Yes, great. Click there. No, call you back in 90 days. Hey, you were at the show. You sent in a request for a brochure, for a catalog. Did you buy whatever it was? Yes, no. Over 3 years, here's what they discovered: that about 50% bought, about 50% didn't buy. But here's what's really interesting. What they found was 200, 100 didn't buy, 100 did buy. So of the 100 that did buy, 15 of them bought within the first 90 days. So in the first 90 days, they submitted a lead online, they chatted, they got into the pipeline at some point. 15 purchased in the first 90 days. 85 of that 100 bought from 90 days to 3 years out. So what that tells me is, in your database, and hopefully you have a database, hopefully you have things organized in 3 Clicks, which that podcast I think just hit a couple times ago. Harry Giovanni from 3 Clicks, or you have some sort of contact management system, GoGo Client, maybe ARI's Footsteps, maybe you're using Lightspeed's Evo CRM. Doesn't really matter what you're using, but hopefully you have something, even Constant Contact, but you have that system in place. Now, what's the opportunity is, I could go into virtually any manufacturer's database or any dealer's database, and I can get a group of people to raise their hand with a simple outreach campaign. Why? Because one of the weakest areas in a lot of dealerships and a lot of the industry is follow-up with those old leads, because everybody's focusing on those new leads that have come in the last 90 days, right? The people you met at the boat show are the ones that you're really focusing on now. The people that have expressed interest in the last 90 days, rightfully so. You want to, if they're hot, if they're ready to close, you want to close them, and you want to do everything you can to close them today. However, 85% of the value in a bundle of 200 leads is actually after that 90-day period, when by that point, as a salesperson, I know, because I've been there, and this, I'm not disparaging or anything like that. I understand the reality of the world you live in, because I lived in that world and was crappy at it for a while, but discovered some of this stuff and used it to my advantage. Is after that 90 days, you're actually, if you stay in communication with them and you communicate the right way, you can take advantage of 85% of the value of that bundle of leads. And what that means for you is, as a salesperson, more commission in your pocket. As a dealership owner, more profit in the bank to grow your business. As a manufacturer, more market share, less aged inventory, and a bigger order next year, right? So a simple email to the old leads, and the simple email is just asking, hey, are you still thinking about buying a boat? It can really be that easy. Okay, so that's number one. The email, it's highly efficient. I've had dealers that have sent that email, and 100 leads is kind of my number when I work with clients. I say, hey, the first thing we're going to do is we're gonna tap the gold mine that you already have that you're missing out on. Another advantage of me not only being a digital marketing agency and a marketing agency and a sales trainer, but having that sales training and that consulting is I can go into a dealer and say, let me give you some free ways to make some money. Let me give you some inexpensive ways to sell some more boats, get ahead of the game, and then we'll start setting up some of that more complicated, marketing campaigns that, when you draw it out on a board, you're like, okay, so we've got our cold traffic here, we've got our retargeted remarketing offers here, and then we've got our they interact with inventory offers here, and then we show this and we drive them to these, and that gets real complicated. But before we get into any of that, let's go ahead and plug the holes in your bucket, as one of my boot camp members said, and now getting them signed up for the done for you stuff, the digital marketing is, we had a spaghetti strainer. We did a great job with the people, but there were so many opportunities and so much profit flowing through that spaghetti strainer. He understood that, and this is such a simple way to take care of it. So at least 100 leads, send that email out. Like I said, I had one client send 100, got 22 responses back. Now, not all 22 were, hey, let's buy a boat today. Some of them were, we've already bought a boat. Some of them were, we decided not to. Great, let's take those out of the mix. Make those notes in your CRM, which is key to being efficient. But there were a handful of those 22, and I think it was like 9 or 10 that were opportunities to sell at the beginning of the year. Springtime's a great opportunity to do that. So email old leads, automated voicemail to old leads. Okay, so there is two opportunities here, and if you'll notice, one of the things I'm high efficiency focused. So I understand as a salesperson, and I did both of these as a salesperson, and I teach my clients to do both, is as a salesperson, you need to get on the phone and just dial for dollars, right? Hey, call them up. Hey, this is Matt. Still thinking about a boat. We met at the boat show. I've got this guide for you. I've got this for you. Something of value, or you just ask that question and you hang up and see if you can't reactivate them. But there's also the opportunity to do that in an automated fashion, just like you can send a mass email to 50, 100 people at a time, or 1,000 or 10,000 people at a time, depending on how big you are. You also have the opportunity. I'm going to put a little legal caveat in here. I'm not an attorney. Check the regulations and the laws in your state, in your country. If you're in Canada, this gets a little bit sketchier. In the U.S., there's a $10,000 fine if you do this the wrong way. So you have to have what they call a business relationship, which means that you have to have gotten that email or phone number from a given to you actively. Not you went online and you searched it. So you've got to be real cautious of that. But most of the people in the industry, you probably included, didn't go out and buy a list and then you're marketing to that list. These are people that are using you for service. These are people that have bought boats from you before, people that you met at the boat show, people that you have a relationship with and you're covered. But again, not an attorney. Check on that. So there's a service called Slydial, Slydial. What Slydial allows you to do, and their other service is Slycast, I believe. You can get to both of them at slydial.com. But it is a service where you can call somebody and automatically get to voicemail. So that makes you much more efficient. What do we know is that you're going to voicemail 87% of the time based on some recent research that was done. 87% of phone calls are not answered and go to voicemail. So you can use that Slydial to get directly to voicemail and just bang out a bunch of phone calls, or you can use the Slycast, I believe it's called. There's several I use a one called Callfire, I think is the one I use. But you can automate and you can upload a list of phone numbers. You can record a single voicemail and you can blast it out. Now, the cool thing is it rings as if it showed from your number. So it looks like it's coming from the dealership, but it goes right to their voicemail. Their phone doesn't actually ring, but it shows that they missed a call and it shows that they have a voicemail. And your voicemail is very is generic enough, but friendly enough that they may not they likely won't catch it because I've used this before. Hey, this is Matt with Matt's Marine. Just wanted to call in, check to see if you were considering a boat for this summer. Give me a call back. We've got an event coming up. We'd love to have you attend, and we've got some cool things going on. Give me a call at this number, or just stop in to say, hey, go to the website. Thanks a lot. Look forward to talking to you soon. And you blast that out to 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000 people, and now you've been very efficient, but you've mined that 85% of people that may have fallen off your radar just because they weren't ready to buy a boat at the time that they initially came in. It's an aspirational purchase. You have to remember that. It's an aspirational purchase, and if you can't get them to buy today, there's a chance that things in their life have progressed so that they're ready to buy later. So that automated voicemail to old leads is another key. And again, you see that we haven't invested much money at all. That slide dial technology is, I mean, you're talking pennies to make those phone calls. So 1,000 phone calls may cost you $50, and it's incredibly efficient. It seems very personal, and it's a great opportunity. The third, text message or direct message to old leads. If you notice, the first three opportunities are to old leads. So the fastest way to sell an extra couple boats is not to go out and invest $1,000 in Facebook and do create a $10,000 video or do Google AdWords or pay-per-click or SEO or any of that stuff. Important for the long term, but I'm talking about getting just a quick win for you. Text message and direct message old leads on social media. Text message, hey, 87% of phone calls are not answered anymore, right? They go directly to voicemail. Some of the research by Verizon has showed that the younger generation mainly doesn't even check voicemail for a couple of days. You're working with successful clients, the higher up the ladder goes, there's times where their voicemail is full. You can't even leave a voicemail if you want to, because they just leave them on there. They check them. They're like, oh yeah, I got to leave that on there to remind myself. And yet 99%, I think that was the number, 97 or 99% of text messages are viewed and opened within like 2 hours of being sent. So you may say, hey, I don't think it's professional to send a text message. It depends on what that text message is. If you're just checking in, you're typically going to be okay. Are you going to piss off a few people? Absolutely. But you're going to piss off a few people leaving voicemails. You're going to piss off a few people sending emails. So you can't be concerned about the people that are going to be upset because 2 or 3 of the 100 are going to be upset. Well, guess what? They weren't buying a boat from you anyway. Be concerned about the 2 or 3 that will buy a boat from you because you sent that. I'm much more concerned about the people that are going to give me money than not. I don't care if people get upset that I have to, I'm not going to just answer the phone when you call because I schedule my day out and I'm very protective of my time because I like to do high level things. And to get on the phone with me, you've got to go to my automated scheduler. You've got to pick out a date and time, and it's typically 2 to 5 to even sometimes a week or 2 weeks out because that's the way my schedule is. And that can upset you, but guess what? If that's going to upset you, you're probably not going to work with me anyway. The way that we operate, you're probably going to get upset that we have rules of engagement over here. So I can't worry about the handful of people that are turned off by that message. I'm not looking to work with 3,000 dealers in my business. I'm looking to work with 100 or so in area exclusive relationships of people that say, we want to kick butt We want to dominate, and we don't want to do the same things everybody else is doing. We don't want to just spend marketing dollars to spend marketing dollars. We want to spend it the right way. Like I had one client we just brought on in the up in the northern area of the U.S. and the northern Midwest. And one of the strategies I gave them, I was like, listen, you're doing a great job on video. Here's how you get even better results with your video, and gave him some SEO stuff that I didn't. One of the vendors he was talking to was going to try to charge him like $300 or $400 a month for SEO services. And I said, no, use your videos as SEO, and here's what you do, and here's how you do it. And I talked to him, and 2 days later, he said my videos are on the first page of Google for the search terms that I'm looking for. I'm like, yeah, I know. That's how it works. When you know how it works, and you're working with somebody that understands the complete picture from the sales and marketing technology, all the way to the nose to nose, toes to toes. What does it take to actually sell a boat and get it delivered and have a happy customer? When you have somebody that understands the full spectrum, and that full life cycle, the customer journey is what we're calling it now. That full customer journey, you can get results that you won't get when you're working with somebody that charges $400 or $500 for SEO, and $400 or $500 for this service, and $400 or $500 for that service, and you're working with a 25-year millennial that's never sold a boat, that got into marketing and went to college for marketing, but doesn't have any real world experience with how things actually work. Or worse, they're just a salesperson selling that stuff, and they've got no clue how it works, no strategy to bring to the table other than what other people are doing. And the idea of text messaging and sending a direct message to old leads, that doesn't make them any money. So why are they gonna encourage you to do that? Or a local marketing person that's super smart, understands it, gets dialed in, but just doesn't understand the boat business and can't offer you these types of services. I don't know how I got on that tangent, but direct message and text message old leads. Text message, that's what it was. I went off there on a second. Sorry about that. Text messaging. You've got to be okay with the evolution of technology. You wouldn't say don't use the telephone. Well, the telephone is something that is still effective as you're getting closer to the sale, but in that follow-up to kind of reactivate people, text message can be real simple. And when you do it the right way, don't say, don't just spam them and hit them, every day with a text message. Make sure when you text, you have a nice, simple message that they ask the question that they can respond to, and don't make it be 10 paragraphs long. Just be real short and concise with your text messages. Get them to raise their hand. Communicate on text as long as they want to continue to communicate that way. And if they ask you to stop texting, then make a note and stop texting. Okay. And this is something, again, you can do manually. You can just text them one off, or there's a service called Easy Texting that I use. There's a bunch of texting services that you can use. Some of the CRMs now have that integrated into them, and you can text message with people. And it's so commonplace now that unless you abuse it, unless you don't know how to use it properly, you can get away with using it with most clientele, even older. I mean, my parents, I get more text from my mom and dad who are in their 70s, and you're probably in your type of demographic, 70, retired, disposable income, been boaters for 40 years. They text message, and they would be fine getting that. You have to identify who you are. This is Matt from Matt's Marine, just checking to see if you're considering a boat. We met at the boat show. Just considering if you're considering a boat for the summer. That type of message, but you have to let them know who you are. That's one of the ways that you can get in trouble, is if you just send the text, hey, are you ready to buy a boat today? They're like, well, who the heck is this? I don't even know. You've got to put your name in there and some referencing, because they probably won't have your number. Direct message to old leads. Go to social media. track them down. People are on Facebook, or if your people are on Instagram, or if your people are on LinkedIn, or if your people are on whatever the latest and greatest social media platform is, send them a quick direct message. The same type of message. And if you notice, we've just hit four media with old leads. There's people that are ready to buy boats that you're not communicating with in the right way, that you're just emailing. You probably haven't called them for a year. You certainly haven't text messages or reached out to them on direct message via Facebook. That if you were able to engage with them in a media that they're interested in, there would be sales opportunities there, okay? And here's the deal, is just do it. Just test it out. And it's pick 100 leads, pick 100 old leads, and I'll put money on it that this will work for you. Okay. So next, this is number 4. Call past clients that are 2 to 7 years old. When I say past clients, people that have bought boats from you, and that 2 to 7 years is just kind of a swag on my side. Consider your type of boats and ask yourself the question is, how often do people typically upgrade, or have we had a significant model change that may entice somebody to get the newer model? Like if you're a towboat dealer, Nautique or Mastercraft or any of the premium Malibu or whatever it is, some of those clients want the best every year. They're upgrading the Yukon Denali. They're upgrading their Porsche every year. They're upgrading their whatever vehicle they drive, their second or third car. They upgrade that every year because they want the latest and greatest. Well, if that's the type of clients that you sell to, it can be even a year. Every year, call them up and say, hey, Bob, just want to let you know that the new models came out, and man, it's got this cool new feature. I know you'll love it. Let's get one in the water so you can check it out and see if it's something that you're interested in. There's a group of clients out there, even if that's not the way you buy, even if you think that's outrageous, that they're going to take a huge loss on that trade. They don't care. There's a group of people out there that are happy to do that and understand that they're going to take a 30 or 40% haircut on their trade, and they don't care because they want that new latest and greatest gadget. There's other, let's say you sell a mid-tier type boat, and they're going to want to upgrade every 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Give them a call and give them the opportunity and ask them, hey, have you considered trading your boat? Have you considered upgrading? There is a group of people that if you ask that question, will do it. And I know this because I've done it. I know this because I've had client after client after client do it and call me up and say, Matt, I can't believe it. I didn't realize that this person wanted to upgrade, that there was no indication that they were looking at upgrading. I called them and they said, yeah, I may be interested in that. What do you got going on? And then you have a sales conversation, you get them into the dealership, you get them on the water, you get them taking the next step, and boom, you've got yourself a nice clean trade, you've got yourself a new boat sold, and you're ready to go. Or if you see that this person bought a leftover when they bought it, you say, hey, we've got a few leftovers. We've got some 17s that are still here. I was mystery shopping a dealer on the way down to visit this client, and they had some 16s. They had 2016s sitting on the lot in the showroom. And if you're that dealer, you need to be calling up people and saying, listen, we've got this boat that needs to go. We're dealing on it. We can make you a smoking hot deal. You bought a used boat from us 2 years ago. This is an opportunity to get a new one with full warranty, and we want to make, somebody's going to get a great deal. It could be you, and we would love to have your boat on trade. Is that something you'd be interested in? Yeah. Why wouldn't they be? Why wouldn't they be interested in something like that? So if you have a leftover, you have a bunch of leftover stuff, or even just one or two, it's time to get rid of that crap. It's time to get on the phone and call past clients that may be interested in making that type of move, or if there's something there's something new color schemes, new technology, new designs, whatever. Call them up and make that offer. Hey, are you considering a trade? Are you considering making a move up? And that's a great opportunity as well. And then finally, this is number 5, a video walk around on those leftover models and send a boat preview email. This is a piece that we teach in the Splash system. Again, it comes down to more than just doing marketing, doing Facebook. It comes down to doing the right things. And if you have leftovers and they have not been videoed yet, there's a reason you have leftovers. You're not doing it right. You're not doing all the things you could to sell those boats. You're being too passive. You're being too laid back about it. And you're not taking advantage of the way people shop and research boats today. So get out your smartphone. I know you got one. You may even be listening to this on your phone. Go get that boat in a reasonable setting. Doesn't have to be perfect. If it's jammed in the corner and all dirty, well, that's probably another reason it's left over. But pull it out, get it in a reasonable spot that you can get a video of it. If it's in the showroom and it's surrounded by other boats, not a problem. Get the best profile shot you can. Do a walk around as if you were talking to somebody and doing a Facebook Live video of that boat. Hey, wanted to show you this boat. Beautiful. It's lime green. It's a 2017. It's the last 2017 we have on the lot, or it's one of 20 that we have on the lot. And man, we really got to get this. Somebody's going to get a smoking deal on this. I thought of you, and I wanted to get this video to you. Let me show you a little bit about it. Here's some things. It's got this engine, it's got this, it's got that. It's a 2017, it's left over, so it does have a little nick here and a little ding there. That's part of the reason why it's so discounted. And if you're interested, give me a call. We can work up some numbers, and here's how you take the next steps. Upload that to YouTube. You can do that in 2 clicks on your phone when you're set up with your YouTube channel, and then send that out in what I call a boat preview email, which is a boat preview email. I just got one from a client of mine that sent theirs out for the day, and it's just a listing of boats you have for sale. And it's a very simple thing to do, is to get your inventory in front of your database, because if your inventory is in front of your database, they have the opportunity to take the next step down the line. Okay, there's a 1-2 punch I teach in the Splash system that we can also do for dealers that don't have enough time or don't have the expertise. There's a easing, a relationship focused easing, and a boat preview. So you build a relationship, you sell the lifestyle, then you put your inventory in front of them. You build the relationship and sell the lifestyle, then you put your inventory in front of them. And that 1-2 punch is so effective that you won't have leftovers next year when you're consistent about it. And if you do a special boat preview email with your leftovers, and you say, listen, we have these 5 leftovers that are available. What that means to you is you can get an incredible deal. 5 people are going to get an incredible deal on these boats, brand new, full warranty. They're in excellent condition. We are going to deliver them, and you can get a new boat for a pre-owned price. If you've been waiting for the right pre-owned boat, this may be an opportunity to consider. If you're looking to make a step up, this is a great opportunity to move into something bigger, and you'll be getting just an awesome boat and a killer value. Here's what you do next. So those are our 5 ways, and I'm telling you, if you do all of these, you are going to sell more than one boat because of it this spring. But if you continue to do these on a consistent basis, as a salesperson, you're going to make more money. As a business owner, if you make this a requirement for your team to do, you're going to make more profit in your dealership. You can invest in more, in more training, in more marketing, put more money in you and your family's pocket. Pay out bonuses, invest in your dealership. I've got a lot of dealers right now that are building new facilities. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 that are in the middle or on the end of projects doing grand openings. new buildings that they've done in the last year. And so you can make those investments when you don't have the curtailment, when you don't have that leftover inventory, when you are selling boats more consistently, when you are getting more results out of your marketing dollars, and you have a more predictable business, a more stable business, a more confident owner. You can make those type of investments, and because you know what's going to be coming. So there you go. Again, if you're a dealership owner, pass this along to your sales team and make sure that they do all 5 of them. If you're a manufacturer, if you're a manufacturer's rep, get this out to your dealers and say, hey, listen, dealers, these are 5 things that you need to do. They're simple. Don't discount them. Do them. You know they work because you know somebody that's done them. It's not like I've created the wheel here. Somebody else created the wheel. I'm just saying, hey, remember the wheel? Remember how easy that made things for you? The video and the boat preview, that may be something that I did create years ago, but I'm sure I got it from another industry, and there's probably was somebody else out there doing it, but that is one that was more of an original idea than calling your past clients and calling your current boat owners. But do it. When's the last time that you actually said, all right, people, here's what we're going to do. The next week, we're going to make these phone calls. We're going to send them out these automated emails. We're going to do text messaging. We're going to do direct messaging to social media, and we're going to call our past clients from that have bought boats in the last year to 10 years or whatever time frame you feel makes sense. A lot of those you'll probably know. If you sell 50 boats a year, it's only 500 people after 10 years of clients. You probably have a pretty good feel of if they still have the boat, what their story is, but don't make the decision for them that, no, they're not ready. They're not going to want to trade. Just call them up and ask them. Call them up and ask them. And if nothing else, you built that relationship. You can ask if there's anything you can do for their boat, and you may even get some service work. So there you go. Matt Selhorst, Boat Dealer Profits, creator of the Splash System, committed to helping you sell more boats, make more money, and have more fun. If you don't have a copy of my book, why the heck not? It's free. BoatDealerProfitsBook.com. You can pick that paperback copy up for free there. Just ask that you cover shipping and handling. There's an audio book version as well that through the month of March, there's a little button down at the bottom on the right side of the page, depending on if you're on mobile or not. I think that's on your desktop, that you can get the audio book. If you use the code word March, you can get $10 off that audio book if you prefer audio. And if you're listening to the podcast, maybe that's more up your alley. But go there. It's only good through the end of March, and then it will go away. This isn't going to go out till the 1st of April. So here's what I'm going to extend that offer, that March offer. I'm going to extend it to April 15th. I'll extend it to tax day for you. So you gotta take that one quick. And if you want that audio version, go check out new webinars that are coming out, boatdealerprofits.com/webinar. If you haven't listened to the other podcasts, this is like number 15 or 16. Go back and listen to the other ones. We've got some great interviews with people, interviews with dealers. You've got me kind of talking about different things like this one, just sharing value, building, trying to build some motivation, get you going, giving you some strategies, giving you some actionable items that you can go back and you can implement. And today, I think as far as the best to go out and get a boat sold like in the next 48 hours, this one right here is going to do it for you. I hope you enjoyed it. Would love to hear your feedback on what you'd like to hear on future episodes. I've got some other interviews lined up, and I think you're going to enjoy those. But let me know what you would like this to be. I have really no set agenda on exactly how these are going to go. It's something that I enjoy doing. I enjoy sharing, just like my articles, like when I speak, sharing that information and finding the like-minded people that may be interested in joining us here at Boat Dealer Profits and putting the Splash System in place and getting our more in-depth relationships. I love it. So reach out to me, boatdealerprofitsbook.com, boatdealerprofits.com slash webinar for some more information there. And appreciate you listening. Go sell a boat. Who are you going to sell a boat today? Let me